dynamic routing configuration on the Palo Alto firewall, right? How we can use the Cisco proprietary protocols like RIP, OSPF in the Palo Alto, and how we can actually do the configuration. So if you see the topology, then we are configuring the uh, two zones, right, for the uh, dynamic routes. All right, one is the inside, another one is the DMZ zone. All right, and for inside we are using OSPF, that is only area zero configuration, and for DMZ we are having an RIP configuration here. Right, then we have an outside network for the internet. Okay. What we are basically trying to get done here is this inside PC, that is VPC4, is on a different network, right? 30, and we have in between a router which is having an OSPF configuration. That OSPF configuration has to be applied to the Palo Alto firewall. All right. So there should be a communication between the router and the Palo Alto firewall, so that the inside PC, that is VPC4, get connected to the internet. Okay. Similarly, the DMZ zone um, between the Palo Alto firewall and the Cisco router, we have a RIP configuration. So in case if this PC wants to connect to the internet, VPC5, okay, then we have to configure the RIP and the RIP in the Cisco router and as well as on the Palo Alto, so that this PC get connected to the internet. So this is the topology and the IP addresses I have taken. Right, in your case, I mean, you can use a different topology, or you can use a different IP address and you can use the same topology if you want. All right. So as we are using here the two different protocols, you can see the OSPF and the RIP, two different protocols, all right? In case if we want to have these uh, these two departments to get connected or get advertised, then we need to do the redistribution of the protocols. All right. So if we do the redistribution, then we will be able to ping each other here. Okay, so to configure this, we need to follow the steps. That first we need to configure the ports, that is 1/1, 1/2, 1/3. Then we have to configure the zones here, inside, outside, and the DMZ. The RIP,
In outside, we have a default route. In
mhm,
outside zone,
yeah,
which routing protocol we have? Is this a default route?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
The default route will be this
The
one,
first thing
only
ISP.
one, yeah, ISP.
Okay.
All right. So we will configure the RIP and the OSPF routes in the routers first. Then we will configure the default route and OSPF and RIP routes in the Palo Alto. Then we will do the redistribution in Palo Alto, configure PCs and policies, and we'll check whether we are able to connect to the internet or not.
So for the route that facing the ISP is always the default route, or the prefer, or we can set up a different routing protocol.
No, it will be default route, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
so can you set up like OSPF or BDP between the outside zone
Yeah, you can do that.
at the same time with default and then BDP?
Yeah, you can do that actually.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
all right.
Yeah. So see, we can actually add another router here, all right? We can add another router here for the BGP. But right now, I do not want to do that BGP configuration. We just want to do the OSPF and RIP configuration. Okay, so maybe in next practical, we have a BGP configuration, all right, where we will be configuring the multi areas, right? OSPF area 0, area 1, how to configure that. Then with the BGP, we can check on that, Maurice, all right? We'll go step by step so that everyone will be on the same page, all right, and find easy to learn, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just turn on the devices here. So turn on the firewall, yeah.
भाई तुम्हारा तो अच्छा वाले पेजेस में एक मंगा दाल अच्छा करी ले वो बोल बनाए मुझे अच्छे बच ख्याल करी भाई भाई ले रंगे ले मंगा डालते हैं इतने टन डालना हो 5 5 टन लगना हाँ 3 देना हाँ 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 डाल दे भाई ले भाई जहाँ पे ये डालते रहेंगे वो मंगा डालते रहे हाँ 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 अभी मांगना आपका हाँ 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 इनको यहाँ दिखा ले पिक्चर
The first step is to configure the interfaces here. So we will configure the 1/1, 1/2, and 1/3, all right, along with the zones. Just log in to the management PC first. Let's log in. Test 1, 2, 3. The IP address is 216.10.10. 1216. EPS. Continue. Right. We'll go to network here. So we'll just configure the 1/1. This is layer 3. We'll use the default route and we'll create a zone here that is inside. Inside zone. Click OK. Then we'll assign the IP address here. That is 10.0.1.100. 10.0.1.100/24. We'll also configure the management interface management profile here. Just add the management interface profile for ping. So we just allow the ping here and also allow the HTTPS. PMT. Click OK. So this is inside configuration for the port 1/1 is done. Then we configure the 1/2 here. That's for the outside. Layer 3. We'll use the default route again. And we'll create a zone that is outside. Yeah, we'll add in an IP address here. That is 192.168.1.131. 192.168.1.131/24. Management. Click OK. Then we'll configure the 1/3. That is 20.0.1.100. That's for the DMC. We'll create another zone here that is DMC. We'll add the IP address. That's 20.0.1.100. 20.0.1.100/24. Select the management profile here. Okay. So the first step is completed, configuring interfaces and the zones. All right. Click on commit. The next step is to configure the OSPF and report configuration. So first we will configure the OSPF here. Okay. So this is router 2. We have already opened here. We'll just name this as an OSPF. So anyone has any issues for configuring the Cisco routers? I mean, do you know how to configure the Cisco routers or you need some help on that? Like IP configuration or route configuration?
For me, personally, I'm good.
Okay. Well, Mimi, Ganesh.
Yes, sir, you can show us, please.
Yeah. Okay, so first what we have to do here is we have to just change the host name, all right? Change the host name. You need to be in the configuration mode. So we'll just type the config T. All right. Now you can type here host name. Then type OSPF. So I'll just write OSPF router 1. Right. So you can see the host name is changed here. So now, if you check the current configuration of the router, you need to just type do show IP interface brief. So this is a short form, right? So you can just type this, right? So you can see the 0/0 fast Ethernet 0/0 fast Ethernet 0/1. So this is 0/1 and 0/0 has not configured any IP addresses, right? So we have to configure these IP addresses FA 0/0, 10.0.150, then FA 0/1, 30, 30, 32, right? So we'll just configure it now. So first we have to go to interface here, type interface FA 0/0. You can just type this name, which is showing as a label here, FA 0/0. So it will take you to the config if configuration. If you see here, the configuration changed. We are in the interface configuration now. So now you can type the IP address, then what's the IP address we want to assign to FA 0/0, 10.0.150, 10.0.1.50. Then the net mask 255.255.255.0, enter, right? So right now the interface is configured with the IP address, but if you check the status to IP interface brief, if you check the status, IP address is configured, all right, but the status you can see it's down, all right. So if you want to make this interface up, then you need to run this command no shutdown. It is, you can just type no shut and enter. So you can see that the fast Ethernet 0/0 is changed to set to up. Right. Now if you see show IP interface brief, now you can see that it's got up and running. So similarly, we have to configure the 0/1. We'll just exit from here and we'll configure FA 0/1. Interface FA 0/1. All right, and IP address. We have to just type the IP address here. 30, 30, 32. All right. 30, 30, 32. Net mask 255, 255, 255.0. Enter. Then no shut. All right. Show IP to show IP interface brief. So it will give you both the IP addresses configured and up. Right. So similarly, we will configure the IP address for the web router. All right. So first we'll go to config T here. Then we'll change the host name rip1. All right. So interface, we'll go to interface here. So if you see, we have two interface again here, 0/0, 0/1, and we have to configure this IP addresses. So interface FA 0/0, IP address. All right. 20.0.150. 20.0.1.50. Net pass 255. 255. Sorry. 255. 255.0. Enter. No shut. All right. So we'll configure the other port. Okay, interface FA0/1. All right. IP address. IP address 40.40.42. So it's 40, 40, 40, 42, 255, 255, 55.0. Insert. No shit. All right. So do show IP interface brief. We can see 20.0.150 is configured. Then 40.40.2 is configured. All right. So both the routers are configured. So we'll just save those changes first. So we'll run the command do right here. We'll save the configuration. Also, we'll save the configuration here. Okay. All right. So the next step we have to do is configure RIP and OSPF on the OSPF route in the routers. All right. So before that, what we will do, we will just configure the OSPF and the RIP in the Palo Alto, right? Then we will configure the routes in the routers. Right. So first we will go to the Palo Alto here. Okay. So under the network, we have a default route here. We will go to the virtual routers. So we click on this default route. All right. So here we have an option called OSPF and RIP. Okay. First we will configure the OSPF here. So we will click enable. Router ID, we can put the IP address. This IP address 10.0.1.50, or you can directly add this IP address 1.1.1 if you want.